said, March was a very, very busy month for all of us here at Frontier Towers, and no less so because we were really proud to announce the return of F1 Manager for 2024. So F1 Manager 2024 was announced earlier in March, and it did feature a much requested item from our community, which is create a team. And we're going to talk to the wonderful Stu in a little bit about it, but let's run into that interview with that trailer. Enjoy.
Do you have the courage to compete? The ambition to create a team? The confidence to carve your own path? To push innovation challenges. Orchestrate your ascent. Steer mindsets. Design your own journey. Create a team. Create a legacy.
To już widzieliśmy, bo ten zwiastun już był. Pokażcie to na żywo, jak się tworzy ten...
Wow, there we go. That was the brand new trailer for Formula One Manager 24. So thank you, Future Arthur, for showing that to me. Now, I'm sure you're all very, very excited to see what's going to be in the game. And so, in order to do a bit of a deep dive into what that trailer was all about, I'm joined by the wonderful Stu Warren. Stu, thank you for joining me on the sofa. Is this your first time in the new set?
I've snuck in here before, but it's the first time I've been on one of these with...
You snuck in without me being present? Outrageous, outrageous. Well, look, thank you so much for taking some time out of making the game to come and talk to us today. For those who don't know who you are, can you give us a brief overview? What do you do at Frontier?
Yeah, I'm Stu Warren. I'm an executive producer for F1 Manager 2024. I suppose my job really is to try and connect the talent on the team who build the game to the vision of the game that our directors hold, and yeah, help them reach that goal.
So you're a busy man?
Busy man, yeah.
So, all right, so for those of you who have probably guessed already, this is pre-recorded because, as you've just stated, your schedule is very, very busy. So I'm so thank you for spending your lunchtime with us to do this segment. So it is appreciated. So we're going to talk about Create a Team in depth in a second. But for those of you that don't know about Formula One Manager 24, can you give us a brief overview about what players can expect? Yeah,
so also, yeah, we'll talk about Create a Team in a moment, where you can create, lead, manage your own F1 team. There's deeper management in F1 Manager 2024 so great.
Założymy się, że będzie masę Andretti team tworzonych.
Bring into the game to really bring it to life. And yet F1 races brought to life as well. Improved behaviours of the cars. We're introducing mechanical failures for the first time.
It's odd that you're introducing a failure as it's a good thing, right? You wanted it, so now you're getting it.
And dynamic new cameras as well. So yeah, all that brings the races to life.
Yeah, I'm careful not to spoil too much, but I have seen the new camera and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
So Formula One Manager it's your one-stop. It's the dream of managing your own team,
yes,
right?
Exactly,
so from nuts and bolts all the way to the top, from managing the car, the driver, and all your factories and the bits in between, right? But as the trailer did show us, Create a Team is here, right? It's been requested a little bit.
It's one of the most requested community features. I think that's fair to say. And you know, when we've wanted to do it internally as well, the team are really excited and passionate about it as a feature. So yeah, delighted to bring it to the game this year. All
right, so we will be showing you some bits and bobs as we go along, as we talk through. But just overview, how does Create a Team work?
So it's an all-new way to play F1 Manager. Essentially, you will be adding a 11th team to the grid. So we're not taking out a team and swapping you in. This is entirely new, 22 cars on track. Yeah, build your team, lead it, manage it to glory.
W Q3 to będzie jeszcze większe zamieszanie.
When you say it's, one of my points was why are we doing it, but I think you've covered it off. It's like every time when we look at the socials, it's one of the most requested features is to create their own team, right? I guess it's that legacy you're creating, right?
Yeah, so the community obviously, yeah, they want it, we hear that. Our players, they love the agency of F1 Manager and being able to make
ładnie to wygląda.
Have a lasting impact. So kind of what
Taki
more
trochę Benetton
agency and
z
impact to
czasów
have than
Schumachera.
creating your own team, yeah.
Yeah, no, indeed. So I guess when you look at a feature like create a team, what are the goals when you sort of from top level? Because I think it's, I can always, just add this in, but there's always got to be like what you want players to achieve with this, right?
Yeah, our goals with this one are to give our players creative freedom. So we'll see a little bit of the creativity that can come from it today, and then obviously more to come later.
Katarzyn w Austrii jak w Austrii, ale na przykład w Holandii albo w Monako.
Their own stories, their own narratives.
Proszę, jaka ładna alpinka.
I've seen people kind of writing up their backgrounds and histories of their.
And just to interrupt, this is what we're seeing on screen, right?
Yes,
these are the liveries you can create, right?
These have been made phenomenal with the tools by the team.
So this is what players can make.
Ciekawe, czy farba będzie miała wpływ na osiągi bolidu.
So this is the sort of level of depth and customization we can go into. Now, full spoilers here, chat. We are not going to show you the tool. We're saving that for another unlock. I know, but this will, I mean, look
a ja
at
najbardziej na to liczyłem.
Phenomenal. So this is what players will be able to create, right, for their own team.
Yep, they'll be able to create their own bespoke liveries for their car. Not just their car, we'll see in a moment as well. Racing suits, helmets.
Whole 9 yards, right? This is
build your team
phenomenal.
logo as well.
So, and when you talk about
proszę, nie tylko bolidy, ale i kaski i ubrania.
This is, like you said, this is the ultimate legacy, right? This is literally creating your team how you want it, and then seeing it through.
Yeah, that's it. When you start out, you'll be able to set the standard of your facilities. You'll be able to set the kind of starting performance of your car, set your budget, and obviously build your team as well. So you can choose from real drivers. You could put Max and Lewis together in your team if you want to go all out.
Feels like it'd be a good team if you had them together.
That feels like a maybe less of a challenge than maybe if you dip into F2 and F3 for your drivers and your staff.
Pytanie, czy Max i Lewis będą chcieli przyjść do nowego teamu?
Use generated players and staff as well. So there's a lot of flexibility, a lot of freedom, and to kind of set your own challenge.
So I was going to say, so I guess for more experienced players who maybe have sampled the previous games, this is
Wygląda na to, że przed rozpoczęciem gry spędzimy 5 godzin na konfigurowaniu malowania teamu.
Bringing either drivers from F2, F1, or as you said, totally new drivers to make the change a little bit more difficult for them.
There's so many different stories that can be told through how you set up your team.
All right, so I was looking through some of the liveries that are on screen there, and it's not just, obviously, there's designs there that they can create, but also logos and sponsors and how they work and how they go into the game. Can you talk a little bit more about sort of how these work and the placement of them? Are they in fixed locations? You're going to put them in certain spots? Or?
So yeah, you'll get to negotiate with the sponsors when you get into the game, and we've created 50 fictional sponsors.
Right.
So you'll negotiate with them. Once you have struck a deal, then you've got freedom to place them on your car.
It's super detailed. I mean, sort of. I think
Mirek chyba niekoniecznie, bo przypuszczam, że będzie ciężko, żeby dodać tam swoje asety, wiesz, swoje malowania. A raczej to będzie na podstawie tego, co jest w grze.
I love watching players create stuff and seeing what they do with the tools that you guys provide.
Ale fajnie, jak będziemy mogli, tak jak jest w Motorsport Managerze, że negocjujemy z konkretnymi sponsorami i wtedy mamy ich malowania na bolidzie.
It's also the race suits and the helmets. So this is also a tool that you guys have created for players to do, right?
Yeah, race suits and helmets, and you'll have the freedom to create your team logo as well, and you're going to see this branding that you create, you're going to see that through the race weekend. You'll see it.
A sponsor, który będzie płacił najmniej, będzie na jajkach albo na tyle.
Your colours, your designs, you can see.
So it's reflected in. It's not just the. That's super cool. And one of the things I also noticed, we were talking about this before we went live, although it's pre-recorded. But we did rehearse it. Ignore me, we did. But you can actually change livery as well, like for one-off races. So you can have like McLaren do sometimes. They come to Silverstone, they have a one-off livery.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean we've got so Shanghai is on the calendar this year. So if you want to create a bespoke livery for Shanghai, you can do that. You can do that mid-season.
O kuźwa. Wiecie, te specjalne malowania na dany wyścig? Kurde. Ja się podjarałem teraz.
Someone will do that. I promise you, someone will do that. Someone in chat is already planning this out. They're like, I've always wanted to do this, and this is what it's going to look like. And I'm going to spend 50 hours just making all the liveries that I need for every single race.
O to mi właśnie chodziło. Na takie zmiany liczyłem.
The tool you can use to create. We've talked about why we want to do it.
Yep.
We touched on the sponsorship deals. Can you talk a little bit more about the negotiation side of it and how that works?
So, you'll this loop, this mechanic will be in the main mode as well. So it's a whole new sponsorship mechanic throughout the game. But with Create a Team, you get to use these 50 fictional sponsors. So it really ties into that creative element as well. Yeah, with you will negotiate with your sponsors activities that your drivers.
Mirek ma być tańsza, ma być o $10 tańsza.
I'm conscious, I don't want to spoil too much, and I'm off screen, chat, and you can't see it. I've got people in marketing looking at me. Don't say it, and yeah. Alex has lowered his glass at me because I'm in trouble. So we move on slightly, but yeah, it's really cool to see this new element is added into the game.
There's more to come on that for sure.
Yeah, there's more to come, and obviously we'll show you more about the actual editor itself. And then lastly, I want to sort of talk about, because you did touch on it, it's creating your team is not just about creating the, the liveries and the suits and stuff. It's creating the whole team, and it also can set a more challenging difficulty for players. So it is about the drivers and your starting conditions. So, are you excited to see how many players are you gonna create your own team?
Massively, yeah. I mean, I've been through the loop many times, created a lot of teams already, but yeah, I'll save it for release to create my proper team, my dream team. I'm not sure yet if I'll go kind of all guns blazing and build the dream team. I think what I'll come in fresh, new, maybe pick from F2 and set myself a bit of a challenge to climb the ranks.
All right. Well, look, we've talked, and to be fair, we've talked quite a bit about just the create a team mode, and not all about the create a team mode. You touched on some of the key pillars. There's lots of tools that we'll have, and we'll go through future unlocks. And I've got notes here. We've got how you bring your racing brand to life. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about all the other elements that we'll take deep diving into. That isn't just about the creative side of it, so more the management side of things, like how you're going to manage the mentality of your drivers. You mentioned the mechanical failures on the racetrack itself. There are new additions within the game, as in tracks themselves, new cameras. There's a lot of new stuff. We're just talking about create a team and not all of it here. So join us another unlocks. Will you come back?
Hopefully, I'd like to. We'll see how this goes down.
All right. Well, look, thank you so much for joining us. And I think in order to play us back, we should play the trailer again, Adam. So let's run it.
Tak, mówił o jakiejś nowej kamerze.
Do you have the courage to compete? The ambition to create a team? The confidence to carve your own path?
Zobaczmy, co jeszcze wypatrzymy.
And confront deeper challenges. Orchestrate your ascent.
Jest taka jakby z drona.
Design your own journey. Create a team. Create a legacy.
Ta łaciata krówka śmiesznie wygląda. No, daty nie dostaliśmy.
There we go. So that was the incredibly shy and humble Stu Warren. What a wonderful man that is, for joined us over his lunch to talk about F1 Manager 24 and the creator team feature. It really is that slick chat. It was obviously, you saw in a lot of these things, we're kind of behind the scenes. There's a lot of work in progress stuff and not final, but even at this stage, those liveries look incredible. We have sort of teased you a little bit there because we're not showing you the tools we're using to create them. That's being kept for a separate sort of deeper dive later on, but trust me, they're really cool. I had a lot of fun watching Adam create some of that stuff, and he was doing it really quickly, and it looks really slick. So thanks again, Stu, for taking your time over lunch to come and talk to us. Really happy to see the reactions to the people in chat about the creative team mode. And there's more, and I'll be back on the next unlock to talk more about F1 Manager 24 coming later this year. But that's not all. If you want to get involved in creating your team and creating a legacy, you can do that right now. You can create your own team sort of news pieces, because teams need PR, right? So if you're going to create a team, you can go over to the website and start this happening now. Your own headline generator, ! Headline, and you can go into this. You can pop in your name and it'll start generating sort of news articles which you can share.
Zaraz wyskoczy niebieski ekran.
This has been put together by our team, so it's quite fun. So this is here, Arthur told me. Is on the search for a new key team members ahead of the 2024 season. So you can start that now. And it's quite a fun little thing if you want to do that, just to get involved. I saw a lot of people talking about creating their teams and their liveries, and I'm sure, as I said in in that recording earlier on. I guarantee, I know for a fact there'll be players out there that will create a unique livery for each one of the races in the season. It really is a powerful tool, but it's not just about create a team. It's fantastic. And again, it's just to state, it is the 11th team on the grid. So really, really exciting to share more about F1 Manager 24 coming later this year. You can wishlist it right now, so please go across and do that.
Już dawno na wishliście dodane.
Exciting.
Chłopie, co ty?
What else is exciting? Free stuff. All this stuff, we got to give it away, right? So, as I said to you before, I'm now going to tell you how to enter this giveaway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a keyword to type into the chat, and it will pick, and our chat maestro, it's a bot, okay, I'm not going to lie. We'll pick one winner randomly shortly. This is a Frontier Twitch channel only competition, so I'm really sorry, YouTube. Actually, it's not us, it's them. I can't do anything on YouTube. I'm really sorry, it doesn't have the functionality, but it is on Twitch. So if you're on Twitch and watching this, geographical conditions or restrictions do apply. So please check our terms and conditions for the full details at frontier.co.uk/legal. This information will also be posted in the chat. If you are the lucky winner, please look out for a Twitch direct message from the official Frontier account, and then you'll be able to get your goodies out to you as soon as possible. Right. Now this word, nearly said it, chat. In order to win, the word you need to add into chat, all one word and all lowercase, is !race car. !race car, and then the bot will pick a winner at random, and you'll get all of this wonderful swag on its way to you. The press kit, the controller, the sign cap from Steve Backshaw, the F1 Manager keyboard, and a goodie bag down there.
A czy są znajomi na czacie? Ktoś się jeszcze z was wpisał? Wykrzyknik race car.
Race car to be in with a chance to win it. Right, back to, I think it's the last segment of the show, and we are going to be talking about, I know, chat, I know, it's Elite Dangerous time. Listen, I'm wearing my Elite, it's always close to my heart, is Elite. I probably knocked the microphone out.
Nie klep się w mikrofon.
It's a rookie mistake. Sorry, get excited. Okay, we're going to have a little look at PowerPlay 2.0. I do mention it in the chat, and I have said it at the start. We were going to have a bit of a longer conversation with the wonderful Simon Brew, but unfortunately he was ill. So this is a little bit lighter, but we still got stuff to show you, chat, about PowerPlay 2.0. And the wonderful Luke Betterton stepped in last minute, very early morning. This morning I hadn't had time to do my hair, and we sat down and had a chat about PowerPlay 2.0 coming later this year. And again, it's just a very light overview, but there's some cool stuff to have a look at. Enjoy this.
Chciałem sobie z wami jeszcze porozmawiać na tego, co się dowiedzieliśmy.
Hello, Luke. Welcome to the show. Now, Luke,
zróbmy to tak, że ja sobie ten live ściszę. Niech tam coś sobie plunka w tle. Czego się dowiedzieliśmy? Przede wszystkim będziemy mieli nowe, fajne narzędzie do malowania. Nie tylko bolidów, ale i strojów, kasków zawodników. Także zapowiada się na to, że rozpoczęcie gry będzie trwało 3 godziny, zanim to wszystko sobie dopasujemy, bo co prawda tak średnio według mnie na tych screenach te kolory podobierali, tak nie bardzo one pasowały, ale widać, że tych opcji i wzorów jest dużo. Będziemy mogli negocjować ze sponsorami. Ciekaw jestem, jak to będzie z bazą, czy będziemy losować, w sensie jak mamy rozbudowaną bazę, czy w zasadzie wszystko mamy na pierwszym poziomie i trzeba będzie w cholerę kasy inwestować. Jak będą wyglądały negocjacje z kluczowymi osobami, czyli inżynierami, mechanikami, kierowcami, czy na przykład taki Max Verstappen będzie chciał przejść do nowo utworzonego zespołu. No, to się wszystko okaże, ale zapowiada się to całkiem fajnie i muszę przyznać, że jestem dosyć mocno podekscytowany. Co się jeszcze dowiedzieliśmy? Będzie jakaś nowa kamera albo kamery. Jak to wygląda graficznie, czy jest lepiej, to jeszcze ciężko wyczuć. Będą usterki mechaniczne, w sensie, że może nam wybuchnąć silnik w trakcie wyścigu. To się jeszcze do tej pory nie zdarzyło. Coś jeszcze się dowiedzieliśmy? O czymś czat zapomniałem? Generalnie jak oni zapowiadają, że będzie dużo zmian w mechanice, to ja się trochę boję. Jeżeli mam być szczery. No ale zobaczymy, jak to wyjdzie. Chip tuning to nie wybuchnie. Chyba wszystko powiedziałeś. No, w sumie krótkie to było. To nieco zdradzili. Z tego, co słyszałem, to jest informacja, którą wyczytałem chyba na czacie u Kondiasza. Ktoś pisał, że F1 Manager ma być o $10 tańszy. Czyli będzie poniżej 150 zł kosztował. 130-140 zł. Zobaczymy jeszcze, jak to przeliczą. Więc to akurat też jest plus. To też jest plus. Najwyraźniej się chyba przeliczyli z sprzedażą tego tytułu. Odwrócę sobie trochę kamerę. I na dzień dobry dają niższą cenę. Ciekawe, co dostaniemy w preorderze. Ale kurczę, ta opcja z własnym teamem kusi bardzo. Kusi. Trzeba będzie pokazać Red Bullowi. No właśnie widzisz, Radek, jeżeli będziemy zaczynali z teamem, tak mi się wydaje, to raczej szału nie będzie. Gdybyśmy mogli wykupić jakiś team, na przykład Red Bulla, tak, z jego całą bazą, fabryką i tak dalej, to można by było walczyć, ale jeżeli to będzie nowy team i faktycznie te budynki będą na pierwszym poziomie, to zanim my się rozbudujemy, to trochę to potrwa. O ile to się okaże prawdą, bo nie powiedzieli jeszcze ceny. No właśnie nie wiem, skąd ktoś te informacje miał, dlatego mówię, że to na live'ie u Kondiasza słyszałem, bo też nie widziałem takich informacji, ale być może gdzieś na Twitterze, Xie były zapowiedzi, ja nie mam Twittera. Jeżeli śledzicie i ktoś widział takie info, to potwierdźcie. Znaczy tak czy inaczej, ja na pewno będę brał w preorderze, bo to jakby jest podstawowy content na moim kanale, jeden z podstawowych, więc ja na pewno się będę tutaj starał o to, żeby mieć wcześniej. Usługi budowlano-remontowe mam wprowadzać do oferty. Tak, Sokolek, tak. Zbudujesz mi bazę. Tunel aerodynamiczny. Na Xie nic o tym nie było. No to nie wiem, skąd ta informacja. Być może to są informacje plotkarskie, jak pewne kanały, żeby nie wkurzać JJ'a. O SCS-ach uskuteczniają. Ale nie obraziłbym się, gdyby faktycznie gra była tańsza. Czekajcie, bo oni mają swoją stronę. Niech no ja sobie to podejrzę.
And we're seeing here then it goes to fortified.
Exploited to fortified, yeah. So you start to see a little bit more branding. They've started to get some
F1 Manager.com.
They're really trying to make their presence more firmly known, and it's a little bit more permanent looking as well.
Deeper management.
You can change this as a player.
A, że tutaj mają coś zmienić odnośnie motywacji i utrzymywania w dobrej formie naszych pracowników. No, tak czy inaczej zapowiada się to, myślę, bardzo ciekawie i no, jak chcę. Zobaczymy, no prawdopodobnie gdzieś w maju się dowiemy, kiedy będzie data premiery. Jeżeli tego narzędzia nie chcieli jeszcze pokazać, to myślę, że prace cały czas nad tym trwają, tak? Mamy prawie że kwiecień. Czy premiera w lipcu jest możliwa? Ciężko wyczuć. F1 Manager wyszedł 22, wyszedł 30 sierpnia. 23, 31 lipca. Jak będzie z 24, zobaczymy. Na razie za dużo tutaj na stronie nie mamy. Watch trailer. Możemy sobie na spokojnie jeszcze ten trailer zobaczyć.
Peggy 12. Do you have the courage to compete? The ambition to create a team? The confidence to carve your own path?
Wzorów jest naprawdę dużo.
To push innovation and confront deeper.
Ta krówka jest ciekawa. Pokażcie mi tę krówkę. Krówka team.
Deeper challenges.
Fault. Drivability issue. Power reduction. No tak, czyli coś tam będzie. The escalates after season? No to może być ciekawe. To może być ciekawe, te issue. Co tam był jeszcze za komunikat? Impeding failure.
It's a far more reflective system now in terms of player effort to reward.
Impeding failure.
Orchestrate your ascent.
Pytanie, czy to jest ta nowa kamera? Ta z lotu ptaka. Czy co graficznie znowu to jest takie... Lepiej to na tym modzie wygląda. Ford, wgniotli nam Peugeota, a taki nowy był.
You can tell, you can log on and go.
Steer mindset.
Against us really hard here.
Design your own journey. Create a team.
Ja myślę, że w mechanice za dużo zmian nie będzie. Że oni się tak naprawdę najbardziej skupili właśnie na tej opcji My Team.
It's 100 players doing it. You could probably tell that it's thousands and thousands of players doing it. Like it's that level of weight and the fact that it's coming from another person is really visible, which is super nice.
And I think that's another really cool thing about what you guys are doing with Elite. I mean, we do love our narratives. Obviously, we've really enjoyed what people are doing with the Thargoids, but I think we get the biggest kick out of watching players.
Zdecydowanie za dużo. O, to jest takie malowanie, jak miał Red Bull kiedyś, nie? Pamiętacie na testach? Te negocjacje ze sponsorami też mnie bardzo ciekawią. No i dobrze, że te kołpaki, czy jak się to w F1 nazywa, też można malować. Wątpię, że będzie można swoje asety dodać, chyba że znowu moderzy to ogarną i wgrać sobie ten Bobra albo Harnasza, jak chciał Sokolek. Dynamic contract negotiation. Take control of your team's facilities and focus your driver's development as you excite your vision. Improved rival team AI. Ja myślę, że te AI i tak było zbyt wysokie naszych rywali. Mody na sponsorów na pewno się pojawią i to prędzej niż myślisz. Your team, your stories. Ciekawe, czy też będziemy mogli sobie własne logo stworzyć, nie? No nic, przyjdzie nam jeszcze na to poczekać. Ale zapowiada się to całkiem fajnie, tak myślę. Ja się nie mogę doczekać. Ja się nie mogę doczekać.
Słuchajcie, dziękujemy wam za ten występ, za to, że byliście z nami przed monitorami. My nazywamy się 4 Dziki. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery. Zajebiście, że przyszliście. Ja to znam, mówię wam. Jak przyszliście, to jest zajebiście. Zajebiście, że przyszliście. Ja to znam, mówię wam. Jak przyszliście, to jest zajebiście. Gitara rytmiczna. Maniek! Gitara solowa, Garlik. I gitara basowa, Wolfi. I gitara perkusyjna, Darek. Gitara wokalowa, Leszek.
Ta, twoja stara. I gitara wokalowa, Michał.
A my jesteśmy 4 dziki i wielkie dzięki! Zajebiście, że przyszliście. Ja to znam, mówię wam. Jak przyszliście,